Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Rebecca. This is Grove Knits. I'm very happy that you're here to join me, and hopefully I've corrected some of the sound issues I've been having in the past few weeks, and also hopefully I've corrected the lighting issues. It's a little bit darker in here at the moment because I've got the curtain closed to stop that brightness shining in, and it's also approaching the evening because this is the best time for me to record right now. So to my viewers who are returning, thank you very much for coming back and spending some time with me, and to anyone new watching this channel, welcome. And this is just simply a channel where I talk about what I'm knitting on, yarns that I happen to have bought, what I finished, and just general yarn and fibre chats. So welcome. A quick recap on my spinning update. Unfortunately, I haven't done much spinning so far this week. I absolutely intend to get some spinning done tomorrow afternoon after work because I'm actually really wanting to blend. I bought 3 gorgeous colours from the Australian Sheep and Wool show last week, and I actually want to blend some of those together and make up some rolags. But I don't have a blending board, so I'm just figuring that out. What I do have are some old brushes, and I reckon I could actually pretty much mimic what I need to mimic with a particularly rough chopping board that I've got and some brushes, and we'll see how that goes. I just want to make sure I don't damage the fibre. Yes, I will be getting a blending board and those other bits and pieces. I just can't afford to get everything in one hit straight away, so I'm just doing the best I can and making do as I go. So we'll see how I go blending colours together without that equipment. So I wanted to update you and let you know that the Ursa sweater that I was knitting for my daughter has been finished. I will insert a few photos here and show you. Unfortunately, they headed off for Western Australia today, so I can't have her come and stand in here beside us and show you it with her on. It is a brilliant fit. It fits around her chest fabulously. I added a few inches to the crop so it goes a little bit longer, but it's still cropped. And I gave her quite long sleeves so that her sleeves come to about here on her hands, which is pretty much where she wants them because she tends to pull her jumpers down to cover up and have some warmth. So that was fantastic, and I've popped that on Ravelry that I finished it, so yay! Another project that I knitted this week, which is for a family member who's been ill, is a basic beanie. This is done in Bendigo Woolen Mill's luxury range. I'll just quickly look at what the actual yarn is. So this basic beanie is done in Bendigo Woolen Mill's luxury lake colourway. It's a 10 ply that we call here in Australia, which would be a worsted weight. It is incredibly soft. What was interesting this time is there was obviously some sort of treatment on the yarn. While I was knitting it, I was actually worried that it was going to be a little bit coarse because this particular family member has no hair after their treatment at the moment. So as their skin's quite sensitive, I wanted to make sure this was extra soft. So I've given this a good soak in soak, funny enough, is what I use on my yarns. And this has now come out incredibly soft. And it smells amazing. I love the smell of eucalyptus and ylang and soak, all of those, just adore them. So this is a basic beanie with a 4-inch brim because this particular family member wants to have that extra warmth around here. So I'll just pop it on. There you go. So it is nothing more than a 4-inch brim done in knit 2 purl 2, and then I've knitted about 7 inches of the hat and then done a very quick bind off, or very quick decrease I should say, and then bind off. Oh, that is incredibly warm. So I will deliver that to them this weekend. So that's finished, which is, as you know, beanies are so wonderfully fast to do. I don't normally do solid colour beanies. I normally do quite some good colours through. but I was asked to do something within a range of some particular colours, so this one fits perfectly. Now, these gorgeous socks. Last week I showed you the ball of yarn that I had bought from... So last week I showed you the ball of yarn that I bought from Heathermade from when I was at the Australian Sheep and Wool Show. So that's the tag there. Just let it focus. There we go. So it's a DK sock in classic rainbow is the colourway. These socks, first of all, let me tell you, I always have socks on the needle. I'm an avid sock knitter. I love knitting socks. They're in my handbag with me all the time because they are this little bag squishes up, jumps in my handbag or my work bag, and it's always with me. Can I just say, I am now a convert. That's the ball I've got left so far. This is the second sock. I'm on the heel flap. I'm now a convert to knitting socks in 8-ply yarn. This sock took me one night and a little bit of a day, just while I was picking it up in between stuff. In one night, I cast it on, I did the rib, I came down the leg, 6-inch leg, did the heel flap, did the turn, and started the gussets. And then the next day I just finished off the foot. I'm blown away by how fast knitting a sock is. Just let's have a look at how gorgeous this colourway is as well, by the way. These socks are for my husband. He is so excited. He's beyond excited at having a pair of socks in this colourway. So much so that he's actually asked, where did I put that ticket? He's asked that I actually hop online and find Heathermade. They're actually a local dyer to us. Well, not Bendigo local, but Victoria local. And he actually now wants me to get a lot more in colourways like this because he wants hats and more socks and all sorts of things with it. So if you haven't looked at them before, have a look at Heathermade. There we go. Nope, it's not focusing. It's all right. I've already focused it anyway. So have a look at Heathermade. It is lovely yarn. Now I'm assuming that the slight, see you can see the whitening, the slight whiteness coming through some of these. I'm assuming that's intentional and that it's not that the dye wasn't soaked long enough because it sort of has that nice denim-y look. So it's actually right through it. So I'm going to assume it is intentional. So long as it's intentional, I think it's fantastic and I actually love the look of it. If it's not intentional, which I'll know, I've got another colourway, so we'll have a look at that then. Then that's a potential issue. We'll see how these wash up when I soak them. I'm a bit worried about the red, only because I've never had luck with reds not bleeding. So I'll just give them, I'll be quite conscious of the temperature that I soak them in and keep an eye out for any bleeding. And if I do, pull out some vinegar and go from there. But yeah, so new convert to 8-ply socks. Obviously I know 8-ply socks, oh sorry, my apologies, 8-ply being DK weight socks. Obviously I know that 8-ply / DK weight socks aren't for everyone nor for every situation, because come summer I wear my knitted socks all year round. I would imagine come summer they'll be a little bit warm. However, I can't think about summer at the moment because it's freezing. It is absolutely freezing. We're sitting with day temperatures of somewhere between 7 degrees and 12 degrees at a max. That's centigrade. I've no idea what that is in Fahrenheit, but just let me tell you, it's cold for us. So anyway, that's how beautifully they're knitting up, and I will finish this sock tonight, I imagine. If not, I might have a little bit of it to finish off tomorrow. I weighed my yarn as I was finishing the foot of this first one because I wanted to make sure that I had at least 50 grams of this left. If I didn't, my intention was to, I've got some other red sock yarn and other bright coloured, just solid colours. I was just going to do the toe in a solid red or another rainbow colour. So my plan tonight is, because I've got the house to myself until I have to trudge on out at about 10 p.m. tonight and pick up number 2 adult child, but middle child. Not child, he's an adult. Stop calling him a child. He's an adult who doesn't have his driver's license yet. So he's working till about 10 o'clock tonight. So I've got to jump in the car and pop on out in the freezing cold and pick him up from work. So I will be knitting madly until a little bit later tonight and hopefully finishing that sock. And I'm desperate to cast something else on. I really want to cast on the Love Note sweater by Tin Can Knits. Let me tell you, I've been watching Caddy Jack's podcast. If you haven't caught them before, I'll make sure I put their link down below. Caddy Jack's on YouTube, also in the Knitters League, and they've been both talking about and showing a particular short sleeve knit that they've made called the Party Top by I will have to have a look at who it's by. So they've been talking about the Party Top. They've also got a knit along for that Party Top. So I'm actually thinking, and I was really liking the look. It looks like it's got some nice yarn over detail on the shoulder, and I've got a really nice yarn that I think will show that well. But I'm tossing up between that and, let me show you one other thing that I don't know what to start first. The struggle is real, people. Let me tell you, it is real. So I'm tossing up between casting on tonight the Party Top by, I'll pop it along here, Love Note sweater by Tin Can Knits. This beautiful thing here, I've actually bought pink yarn just to do this. I will be changing the neck a little bit when I do this. I'll either do a larger turtleneck or possibly a boat neck. Need to figure that out first, but I can't wait to cast that on. This Lane magazine, there's a few in here that I'm actually wanting to cast on. And equally, I like that particular jumper in Lane magazine as well, with that more gentle cow neck there. And I also happen to really like this one. And I also really want to cast on a dress. I really want to knit a woolen dress. So as I said, I need to figure this stuff out because Lord knows what I'm going to cast on next. However, as that I've only got a few pairs of socks cast on, I could probably cast on 3 or 4 things, and that's okay. Guess we'll see. So thank you very much for spending some time with me this weekend. I hope that you've enjoyed the knitting that I've been working on. Just to give you a very quick update with my Party Top. So I ended up casting on the Party Top by Abby Knits, and I'm knitting it in a Bendigo Woolen Mills greenstone colourway, and this is 50% wool and 50% bamboo. So it's a little bit slippery actually. It's funny enough, this turtle dove that I'm wearing is actually in a worsted weight. Stella is the yarn, the bamboo and the wool, and I don't think I'll actually buy any more of it. I'm using up stash, so that's why I'm knitting this. So this is where I'm up to with the Party Top. I'll just stand up for a sec. So that's the front. Really simple knits. I've just got to get it. I've only just tried it on, so I've got to do a couple more rows. It's just got to come down just past the boobs, and then I can actually bring it in by a couple of stitches on the side to fit it down. So this is nicely fitted. It calls for negative ease. So I'm a 40 around the chest. So this is done in a 36 to 38-ish 8-ply yarn, so DK weight. For gauge, I use a 4.5 mil to get gauge. So yeah, I'm actually really pleased with it, and I'm looking forward to wearing this with some skirts for work. I particularly love the detailing on the sleeves. So I should be finished the body tonight. It's got the twisted rib on the collar. It'll have twisted rib down along the bottom as soon as I've finished the stockinette, and probably about 2 inches, 4 centimetres of twisted rib. And then I'll do the sleeves. The sleeves I'm just going to do probably just a 3/4 sleeve. But I can actually see myself knitting more of these possibly. We'll see how that goes. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a brilliant rest of the weekend. We're actually going to get ready shortly to head over to friends' places. They're firing up the pizza oven. So we'll have a few glasses of wine, have some pizza oven, and get ready for the work week ahead. So have a great one, and thank you for joining me. Please feel free to like and subscribe. I generally upload weekly, I try to, depending on how my knitting's going throughout the week. Thanks a lot. Bye.